Hello, everyone. I am now going to start to speak with you in continuing in navigating loss. It's not just about death. Looking at the 3A coping framework, and this session is about an assisting strategy, mindfulness as a coping strategy. So mindfulness is something that a lot of people are talking about, but a lot of people may not really know what mindfulness is about and may not be practicing it, or may be practicing it and not knowing that they're practicing it. So let me start by defining it for you. Mindfulness is the awareness that emerges through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experience moment to moment. That's I'm giving you a formal definition that's been provided by Jon Kabat-Zinn. Jon Kabat-Zinn is the founder of mindfulness-based stress reduction. And mindfulness, from that, let me simplify it and make it easy for you. Not that it's such a complicated definition, but when you're practicing mindfulness, you are being in the moment, you're being in the present moment, you are not judgmental, and you are compassionate of yourself and others, and you are allowing things to be just the way they are. That's pretty much the major components of mindfulness. So it involves engaging in activities of daily living, being in the present moment. And you're very much in the driver's seat when it comes to mindfulness, of being empowered to assure, to acknowledge and assess that you are being in the present moment. And instead of thinking about things in the past or worrying about the future. So a good way of practicing mindfulness, and you'll see from the diagram, is in driving. Because when you're driving, it is optimum if you're paying attention to what is happening here and now. In other words, who's in front of you? What speed are you driving at? Who's behind you? And just being attentive to the road. And so when you're driving, that's a good place to practice being in the present moment. Because often the mind chatter, which is your thoughts, will take over even when you're driving. And you are driving without being attentive of the road. So this is a good opportunity to practice mindfulness and be safe. So mindfulness also involves, and I mentioned the mind chatter, your thoughts. It involves calming the mind chatter. And there are exercises for you to be able to focus on, let's say, your breath, because the breath is a wonderful grounding tool that you have to bring you in the present moment, to focus on breathing and focusing now. And when you breathe, when thoughts come in, which they will do because that's what happens, is just notice the thoughts, notice the mind chatter, and then just bring your attention back to your breathing. So that's a mindfulness exercise, breathing. And it also involves allowing yourself to practice this and allowing things just to be the way they are, which can be very challenging, especially when you are navigating loss and feeling distressing emotions. It can be very challenging to allow yourself to be there. And especially if the mind chatter is telling you things that are not being kind to yourself. So allowing yourself to be kind to yourself, allowing things to be the way they are. Okay, this coping skill of mindfulness comes with practice. So mindfulness, I explained, is really a way of living. Meditation is a way of practicing mindfulness. It is not really mindfulness. It's an exercise. Like there's breathing meditation, there's walking meditation, there's eating meditation, there's body scan. Those are some examples of mindful practice that you can do. In other words, these meditations help you to live your activities of daily living in a mindful way, being in the present moment, being non-judgmental, allowing things to be as they are, and being compassionate and kind. So now I have devised a modified program of mindfulness. Traditionally, the meditations that are done are usually lengthy. And many people will say, I can't sit for half an hour. I have a really hard time. My thoughts come in, and I have racing thoughts that are just coming in, and they find that meditation can be very challenging. And it is optimum to be able to sit for a duration of time, a lengthier duration of time, and be able to sit. You'll get optimum benefits. But there are people that may benefit from mindfulness that cognitively would not be able to sit, such as people who have dementia. So I did a pilot project where I went into an adult day program where there were people with advancing dementia, and I tried out different exercises, a series of exercises. Let's say instead of a half hour of one breathing meditation, it was a series of very short exercises interspersed with very short breathing meditations. And the objective in mindfulness is to pay attention. So by offering a series of engaging short exercises, this was the way to keep people with dementia's attention for a certain period of time. So the book is called Mindfulness Exercises for Dementia. But really, it is not just for people with dementia. It could be for people that have a hard time with traditional mindful practice. And so it really is a practice for everyone. And it's really a good way for people with dementia and their family caregivers to practice mindfulness together. as an activity. So that's the modified program for all cognitive levels. So what are the benefits of mindfulness? There's been evidence that has shown that the benefits of mindfulness include lower blood pressure, stress relief, improved concentration, mental clarity, reduction of chronic pain. And initially, the mindfulness-based stress reduction program was brought to hospitals by John Kabat-Zinn for pain reduction, and found that it was helpful in reducing chronic pain, improving sleep, and the ability to relate to others with kindness, acceptance, and compassion. So it's worthwhile to practice this assisting coping strategy, and it's worthwhile to practice it as a coping strategy for navigating loss.